beautiful?
Hello, lovers of the world. This is Hinta speaking. I love K-pop girl groups. I definitely follow them a lot more consistently than I do K-pop boy groups, and that's just my personal preference. So I thought it would be a great way to look back on 2023 and celebrate all the great music that we got from our girly pops. I would rank all of the K-pop girl group comebacks and debuts in a tier list. So I did this last year as well, and honestly, this year was a little bit more difficult to keep on track of releases than it was last year. So in 2024, I'm going to try to be more efficient with the way that I collect notes and keep up to date with releases. But that's why 2023's ranking video took a little bit longer than I initially would have liked it to have been released. Regardless, I still have the same rules from last year for this year's ranking video. I want to establish the rules that I actually have for myself in regards to these songs. So I don't want to talk about every song that's been released, and basically I don't really have a particular criteria in terms of whether or not a group is considered too nugu or anything. I just try to listen to as many music as I'd like. However, in terms of the rules I have, I'm focusing on title tracks and debut tracks that come with the release of an album or a single album. So for example, songs like Set Me Free by Twice came out with an EP, so I will talk about that. And Teddy Bear by Stacey was released as a single with like a B-side accompanying it, so I'm talking about that song. I'm also including pre-release singles because I felt like if I were to exclude them, I wouldn't be kind of capturing the state of K-pop girl groups of 2023. So I will be talking about songs like Super Shy by New Jeans and Kitsch by IVE. However, I am not talking about songs that were released after the album has been released. So I'm not talking about lead singles like Eve, Psyche, and Bluebeard's Wife. And I had to firmly tell myself that as well, because that song, for example, made such a huge impact on K-pop, but I had to stick to my guns. I will not be ranking that song in this video. I'm also not talking about songs from Japanese groups or their releases, or even if they are a K-pop group, I'm not talking about their Japanese release. So I'm not talking about Do Not Touch by Misamo or anything by Nizzy Yu. And the songs have to be in Korean, so I am not talking about songs with English lyrics like Shooting Star by XG or Perfect Night by LE SSERAFIM. Those are just the rules I have for myself. In a way, it helps me narrow down my list because otherwise I would just be talking about every song and then I would have to procrastinate this video even longer than necessary. So as you can see, if you did watch my ranking video from last year, you'll notice that I am using a different list, and this is something that I did make up on my own, and I did want to make a new one because I want to include different memes and different like culturally pop culture phenomenons into the mix. So the highest tier on my list is
Snot Girl. I think you dropped something. My jaw.
So this is kind of reserved for, super standout songs that I really, really liked and I feel like are super memorable. The one below that, the A tier, I call art gallery paintings. I think there are songs that are great and should be immortalized and put into like a celebrated institution, but they're not like, the highest of the highest. Songs I still really like, but the middle tier, I call Wonyoung Dance. So for those who don't know, the Wonyoung Dance is kind of like this meme where some fan cam or this edit of Wonyoung kind of doing a little dance has infiltrated K-pop stan Twitter, and I just think it's a really cute dance. Any song that will be in this tier is any song that I will do my little dance to if it does come on when I'm in a public setting, but it's not really something that I would put in my playlist necessarily, just stuff that I still enjoy but isn't particularly super standout. And then the tier below that is called Department Store Music Playlist. Basically, these are just songs that I'm not really like a super big fan of, but if this played while I was shopping, I would listen to the song. I would definitely prefer listening to the song over silence. This is not explicitly a diss because when I go shopping, I do hear some bangers at the Department Store Music Playlist, but the point is that any song that's in here is kind of like low-key easy to forget or tune out because you're kind of doing something else. And then the bottom tier are just songs I flat out don't like, and I've called that tier, if you get it, you get it, if you don't, you don't, and I don't. So That's just my opinion! Speaking of which, disclaimer, I am ranking the songs only. The ranking I give the songs on this video does not reflect how I feel about the members, the group, or the group's larger discography. There are plenty of groups or artists in this tier list that I really like and follow already, but if their song doesn't land well with me, then that's just how it is. You're more than welcome to agree or disagree with my opinions, but for the love of God, do not dox me, okay? This is just my experience! Now that that's out of the way, let's get to actually ranking. Now, I have more or less organized the songs in alphabetical order, but if it's kind of wonky, apologies, but I just thought this was the easiest way to kind of get everything out of the way because I thought about doing it in date of release, but I was like, that's too much work and I already procrastinated this video for too long, so this is the best that we're gonna go for, okay? I'm gonna try to talk as much about the songs as I can, but sometimes I will just not have a lot to say about something and that's okay. Hopefully I can still offer some kind of interesting insight in regards to the songs, but most of the times I'm just talking entirely about how I feel about the tracks and not necessarily about, you know, music theory. This channel is all vibes, no theory. Let's get to our first song. We've got Seventh Heaven by Purple Kiss, and I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance. By the way, I do have my notes here just so I can remember what each thumbnail represents, because if you are not a super big K-pop fan, you might not know what these refer to, but I have my notes here, so that if you see me looking to the side, that's exactly why. Anyway, Seventh Heaven I thought was a very fun summer song, has great singing, but nothing about it really sets it apart from the metric tons of K-pop songs that are released every year, and I think the dance break was fun. Next we've got Agassi by Soojin. This is her debut as a soloist after I think 2 years of being away from G-Idol, and I thought this was a very sufficient solo debut song. I think it highlights her strengths really well. It harkens enough to her past in G-Idol that fans are kind of happy to see her do what she is known to do really well. But the song focuses entirely on what had set her apart from her previous G-Idol members, which is her attitude and the inflections of her voice that make her sound very seductive, enticing, and powerful. I was honestly quite surprised by how impressed I was with the song's construction. I feel like the company that Soojin is under could have given her any song and the stans would have eaten it up anyway. But I feel like they actually took a lot of time in constructing the song to suit her strengths, and I feel like that has to be commended and I really appreciate that. However, it's not really something that I would listen to in my spare time. It's not really my style. So I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance as well. Then we've got Air Force One by Odd Eye Circle, and I thought this was a really great song. I'm gonna put this in Art Gallery Paintings, which is no surprise because I am a pretty big Luna fan, and Odd Eye Circle has always been my favorite subunit when they were kind of still together. So I thought this was a really excellent continuation of Odd Eye Circle's specific subunit musicality, and I think what holds me back from putting this in the highest tier is kind of the chorus, because I felt like it was the weakest point of the song. I would have wanted more lyrics in that part and not onomatopoeia. Speaking of Luna, we've got Algorithm by Heejin, and I'm putting that in Snap Girl, I think you dropped something, my jaw, because I really loved it. I was already really excited for her debut in the leading weeks that they were teasing it, so my expectations were already quite high, but even then, I was really surprised by how much I love this. It's just fun, retro vibes, and it's kind of nothing that I've seen from Heejin do before, and it's kind of different to what the other girl groups are kind of doing these days, so I feel like it was just really refreshing to hear her sing just such a fun song. I really like the lyrics, I really like her delivery in this, and it's just really bright and fresh and fun. And then we've got Allergy by G-Idol, and originally I didn't really like this song that much. I thought it was quite basic. Of course, the message is really good, but I think over time it grew on me, enough so to put it in Art Gallery Paintings. Because it's so basic, because it's so explicit in what it's trying to say, I feel like that has to be appreciated, and that's kind of the point of the song. It's to just be very direct and have no room for any kind of other interpretation. So I kind of appreciate that, and I like that anybody with a decent enough grasp of English can understand the message, which kind of feeds into the universality of a message like this being spread to as many people as possible. Then we've got Aloha by Soyu, and I thought this was fine. It was very fun. I'll just put this in One Young Dance. If I close my eyes, I can pretend that Sistar never disbanded. Next, we've got Aurora by Signature. I thought this was a really fun song. I'm gonna put this in One Young Dance as well. It wasn't super memorable, but I really like this kind of sound anyway, and I do wish that more girl groups were doing it more frequently, or at the very least that more girl groups were doing this and were rewarded for it, because sometimes there are certain types of songs that do exist in the K-pop space, but not enough stans give it its flowers, to borrow a phrase. Anyway, we've got Baddie by IVE next, and honestly, I'll put this in department store music playlist because I don't know, I'm just a bit fatigued by the girl crush concept. And even though IVE delivers this song with a lot of confidence and charisma, I feel like there's nothing about the song that kind of separates it from the landfill of badass girl crush songs that we hear a lot on the daily anyway. And I'm gonna say the same thing for Bad News by Kiss of Life. Again, the execution is really, really good, owing to the fact that all of the members of Kiss of Life are eating CDs, like they just sing really, really well. But I don't know, it's just not for me. And then we've got Bam 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 by Yerin. I really wanted to like this song, except I feel like the instrumental swallows her up. I would have put this in art gallery paintings if she had a more commanding presence, but as it is, I feel like she is overwhelmed. I'm just gonna put this in department store playlist. Sorry, I fixed it, but again, I'm trying to do this in alphabetical order and according to my notes. So next we've got Batter Up by Baby Monster. I mean, we all have ears. We can all hear that the song isn't great. The song just represents to me wasted potential because it is not the girls' fault, obviously. We can all hear that they have great singing skills, rapping skills. We can all hear that they've got the attitude and the charisma and the confidence to pull off a badass girl crush song. It's just the song itself sucks. If this was a pre-release single, I would be less mad about it being quite subpar, but the fact that it's their debut, like, we need it to be good. We expect it to be good for it to be their debut. The company can't just build up hype for this group to be the next Blackpink or to follow in Blackpink's footsteps and for it to just like not live up to those expectations. Like, next we've got Bet On Me by ITZY, and I thought this was quite surprising for them to release. It's not really a musical territory that they tend to go for, but I appreciated the fact that they decided to go for something new and different. Regardless, I feel like the song itself didn't really land on me. I'm just gonna put this in department store music playlist. And then we've got Bon Voyage by Dreamcatcher. I really like this, actually. I'm gonna put this in art gallery paintings because it was just really good. It's like peak anime show opening song. It's just really good. I don't know. I liked it. Then we've got Boom by Rocket Punch, and I'm gonna put this in One Young Dance. Like, I thought it was really fun and cool and cute, but it didn't have an extra special something. Next, we've got Bubble by Stacy, and I'm gonna put this in One Young Dance as well. I originally didn't like this very much, but over time it grew on me, and I think it's hard to not enjoy it when the joy is so infectious from the song. Next, we've got Bring Your Own Best Friend by Billy. I thought this was a really good song. It doesn't like stick to your mind in the same way that you expect title tracks to do so, but something about this is just really nice and different to what everybody else is doing, and I appreciated that. Then we've got Cake by ITZY. I'm gonna put this in One Young Dance as well. I think it's a very catchy song, and I like how bright and bubbly it is, but I think the chorus is a bit too repetitive and it can get annoying depending on the day that you're listening to the song to. Then we've got Cheeky by L's Up, which is the group to come out of Queendom Puzzle. And I don't know, it's fine. I think they could have given the group a better song, but I feel like it speaks to how little the company thinks the group is going to do with how kind of mediocre the song is. I don't know. The EP was fine, but I think the title track could have been way better. And then we've got Cherry Coke. I'm gonna put this in art gallery paintings because I actually really enjoyed it a lot. It's very sweet, but with an edge and really different to what the other girl groups are doing. Then we've got Cherry Talk by the Triple S subunit Crystal Eyes. I wasn't really a big fan of this. Putting this in department store playlist. Then we've got Chill Kill by Red Velvet. Exactly. Yep, exactly. And then we've got Cupid by 50/50. I really like this song, and it's kind of hard to say that after everything has happened, but so I'm gonna put this in art gallery paintings. And yeah, I don't know. I just wish that if you don't know what's happening with 50/50, I don't know how to explain it in a way that makes sense and is short enough for this video, but look it up. It's kind of a sad kind of turn of events, and I just wish nothing but happiness for the girls, and that whatever it is that they decide to do after this, it's, yeah, I don't know. It's just sad. It's just really sad. And then we've got Dalala by Yuju. I thought this was fine. The vibes kind of reminded me of the Seraphim's Perfect Night. So I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance just because it's a fun song. And then we've got D&D by A-Pink. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it aside from I thought it was like really boring. And it's not like bad, but it's just like the fact that it's boring makes me feel sad. And then we've got Drama by aespa. I really enjoyed this. I'm gonna put this in art gallery paintings. I feel like the girls deliver the song with a lot of charisma and confidence. The chorus is very, very catchy, and the sound overall is just very in line with aespa's sound. So I'm very happy with this comeback. The EP I wasn't really a big fan of, but the title track is good. Then we've got Either Way by IVE, and I really, really like this. I'm putting that in art gallery paintings. I really like the lyrics. The music video is really nice. And I feel like I don't really see as much love for this song as much as the other singles, which is fair because the others are catchier and more upbeat and more memorable. So that's fine, but I would like to see more hype for this song. Then we've got ETA by New Jeans, and I was surprised by how much I ended up loving this by the end of the year. When I first listened to it, I thought it was kind of like okay. I think I was more so surprised the fact that New Jeans was doing this sound that I didn't expect them to do. The subject matter is definitely new. It's still love, but it's like a different side of love that they typically cover. And I really enjoy this juxtaposition of the horns with the New Jeans members' soft voices. Same thing with Bam Bam Bam. I would have wanted to hear their voices more clearly because sometimes the horns can be a little overwhelming in certain areas, but otherwise it kind of grew to become one of my favorite K-pop songs of the year. And then we've got Yunoya. Sorry, I didn't pronounce that properly at all. I'm putting that in art gallery paintings. It's a good song. It's fun. Different. Then we've got Fast Forward by Sami. I thought this was really good. I'm putting that there as well. Then we've got The Flash by Kwon Eun-bi. I thought this was really majestic and elegant. I'm putting that in art gallery paintings. Got Flower by Jisoo. Don't hate me, okay? Then we've got Galileo by Kepler. Then we've got GGBB by the subunit from Mamamoo. I'm gonna put this in if you don't. And then we've got Giddy by Kepler again. Yeah, it's okay. Then this is Girls Capitalism, and I actually really like this. It's because it has the same vibe as Generation from last year, and I really love that song. So I feel like the natural progression is that I'm gonna really love this too. So I'm putting that in the highest tier. And then we've got Hate Rodrigo by Yena featuring Yuki. And honestly, I kind of enjoyed it. I think it's silly and fun, and we need a bit more silliness and fun in K-pop. And then we've got Honestly by Limelight. I think this group needs more attention because this song is really good. I'm putting that in art gallery paintings. And then we've got Honey or Spice by Lightsum. I don't know, it wasn't very memorable, and I feel like I already don't follow up on Lightsum very consistently, but I feel like after listening to the song, not only did I not like the song in particular, but I also feel like I understand their musical identity even less.
Supposed to give, but it did not give what needed to be gave to the highest of giving, if that makes any sense.
Then we've got Howl by Chu. I thought this was fine. I'm putting this in Wonyoung Dance. I think it was a good song for her to have, and it suits her really well, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the song itself. And then we've got I Am by IVE. Ooh, oh my god, I'm putting that in department store music playlist. It was okay. It was fine. And then we've got I Love My Body. I didn't like that one in particular either, so I'm putting that in department store music playlist. I mean, the message is great, and I appreciate that exists, and I appreciate that Hwasa is speaking up for herself, but I don't know, it just never made its way into my playlists. Although I do want to comment on how the musicality reminds me of Forget You by CeeLo Green, and I do think that's intentional considering that they have similar-ish sentiments, so that's interesting, but not interesting enough to make me like it. And then we've got Invincible by Triple S. I actually really like this, so I'm gonna put that in art gallery paintings. Then we've got Killin' Me Good, and I like this too. I'm putting that in art gallery paintings. Kitsch by Ive. Oh my god. I feel like such a Ive hater for putting all these songs in the lower tiers, but I just didn't like this very much. Then we've got Knock. God, I didn't really like this either. I kind of want to put this in the bottom. And then we've got Lemonade by Dream Note. This was fine. I don't know. Then we've got Let's Dance. I actually didn't like that either. I'm sorry, Lee Chaeyeon. I just didn't like these songs. I really loved Hush Rush. That was a good debut, contrary to what other people say. I loved it. Love Me Like This by NMIX. Wonyoung Dance. I feel like the song is fine, but I think it's really catchy and I really like the dance. So, what can you do except dance? Then we've got Love War by Yena. It's fine. I put this in department store music playlist. That's such a mouthful. My god. And then we've got Macaroni and Cheese. Macaroni Cheese. I don't know, I didn't like it. I'm putting that in, I don't get it. And then we've got Maniac by Viviz. This was okay. I never got on the hype train, but I feel like because the dance has gone so viral and because it's so memorable, it's pretty much implanted itself in my brain. I'm gonna bump it up to Wonyoung Dance because... And then we have Me Now by Promise 9. Classic Promise 9. I'm gonna put this in art gallery paintings. I think it's very fun, sophisticated, elegant, classy, just loving it. We've got Movie Star by Miju. This was fine. I'm gonna put this in I'm gonna put this in department store playlist because I don't remember how it goes. I listened to it once and I don't think I came back to it. New Jeans by New Jeans. This was okay. I mean, I think it's catchy and fun to sing to. New hair, new jeans, new tea, do you see? Then we've got the collab between Winter, Liz, and Soyeon. This was really forgettable. I honestly don't remember how the song goes. And it's kind of a bummer because I feel like you don't really see a lot of these intergroup collaborations as much as you used to in the past. And I feel like if only we gave them enough attention, I feel like companies are more willing to pursue them. But this is not the song to do that. Anyway, we've got None of My Business by ITZY. Oh my god, guys, I can't state this enough. I freaking love this song. I ate it up, dude. Obviously, the purpose of pre-release single is to hype people up for the official release of the album, and this song did exactly that. Because when this came on, and obviously only the music video was available on YouTube, and I was counting down the days when the official album release came on because I really wanted to listen to this on Spotify. I love the song. I ate it up. I was listening to it so much. I think it was one of my most played songs of the year. I love the song. And not only because it was really catchy and fun, but it really dropped at the time when I needed it the most. Like, it's none of my business what you do. So real. So true. ITZY really gets me. Anyway, and then we've got Nugudum by Craxy. I mean, this was fine. I don't actually stan Craxy. I feel like I should. Nugudum is a really interesting example of a company understanding the group's position and leveraging it to get as many clicks, views, and engagement as possible. And they got all of that from me. I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance. Honestly, on its own, I think it's really basic. But the fact that the company was conscious enough of stan Twitter culture, not only to know what Nugudum meant, but to also co-opt it into a song, enough so to transform that song from what otherwise would have been a very boring, basic girl crush concept song into like something that actually makes sense, considering that most girl crush songs are already I'm better than all of you and I don't care what you think. But the fact that they incorporated that into the song addresses the group's underdog status and highlights and emphasizes how badass they actually are. So I think that's really smart and clever. So I'm gonna give them props for that. However, despite this, I feel like this isn't really something that's gonna end up in my heavy rotation. So yeah. And then we've got Off the Record Night. I thought this was really fun. I really like the music video for this. I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance. If this came on, I would be really happy, but I wouldn't purposefully seek it out. And then OMG by New Jeans. I feel really basic for putting this in the highest tier, but what can you do? It's a really good song. And then we've got OOTD by Dreamcatcher. This was really freaking good. I'm gonna put this in the highest tier. I was surprised by how much I enjoyed this. Anyways, now we've got Party O'Clock by NMIX. I'm gonna put this in Art Gallery Paintings. It's a little bit more memorable than Roller Coaster. I'll tell you that now. And then we've got Purr by Adya. I mean, this was fine. I mean, it had its viral moment, but I don't know, it was okay. We've got Play on the World, aka POW or POW by Cherry Bullet. I mean, this was okay. I'm gonna put this in department store music playlist as well. And then we've got Pull Up by Viviz. This was fine. I'm gonna put this in department store playlist as well. Then we've got Queen Card. I ended up really liking this, which kind of surprised me because when I first listened to it, I really hated it. Over time, it grew to become one of my favorite songs of the year, which is really funny. So this is Rising by Triple S. Oh, I didn't like that at all. Then we've got Roller Coaster. This was fine. I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance. It's not as memorable as Party O'Clock, is the thing. This is Rose Blossom by High Key. This was fine. I don't think I remembered it. And then Sensitive, I really enjoyed that actually. I'm gonna put that in Art Gallery Paintings. This is Set Me Free by Twice. I wasn't really a big fan of that. And then we've got Sh by... I enjoyed this, but I didn't love it. I can appreciate it objectively. It's a really good song, but I think I'm just not really a big fan of that very specific dated sound because it reminds me of like girl group songs from 2015 to 2016, like Fifth Harmony, Little Mix, even early Ariana Grande from that time period. I don't think it's like entirely my style, the sound in general. Shining Bright by CSR. Wow. We are so back. We are so back. That is such a good song. I wish more people appreciate this kind of sound, but I think people are just too caught up in the girl crush sound. This sound is just a relic from a different time, and this is a good execution of that specific sound, but it's just kind of sad that I feel like the rest of the K-pop fandom have moved on from it. If CSR have 100 fans, I am one of them. If CSR have one fan, that is me. If CSR have no fans, then I must be dead. Anyway, I think I messed up the quote, but you get what I mean. Dance On. What are you doing there? You were supposed to have been talked about way earlier. I'm sorry. Dance On by Alice. This is fine. I'm gonna put this in department store playlist. I think it's an okay song, but the girl group stands on Twitter keep insisting that this is a hidden gem. I think it's fine. I think the solution to Alice leaving Nugudum is them actually being more active and not necessarily going viral for one song. You know, we can't bank on these very specific and very once in a blue moon cases to happen to every Nugu group, because that just implies that there is no hard work in getting out of Nugudum. I don't know. I think because of Cupid and Brave Girls exploding the way that they did, people think that there's like a magical secret to getting out of Nugudum, but like really it's just good music and a dedicated fan base. Anyway, moving on, we've got Slay by Everglow. God, I really didn't like this. I'm putting this in the lowest tier, and it pains me to put them there because I love Everglow. I love their music, but this was not the song I waited nearly 2 years to hear. And then we've got Sonyar Breaker by NMIX, and I wasn't gonna put this in the tier list, but this was technically released in 2023, so I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance. I actually didn't like it in the beginning, but I've warmed up to it since, and I think it's because I've actually listened to the EP already, and I think the EP is really good. So now that I've listened to the song in the context of the entire project, I feel like I understand the vision that they were going for. Whereas when I first listened to it on its own, I was a bit like, But now I understand. I get it now. And then we've got Spicy by aespa. That's going straight into art gallery paintings. Cool, it's sassy, it's fun. Then we've got Stamp on it, and this is a song that I don't think held up very well. This was released in January of 2023, and I really loved it when it first came out, but I have not really listened to it a lot as the year has gone on. So I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance. And then we've got Stranger by Sunmi. I completely forgot. It's definitely bold and very different, not only to what the other girl groups are doing, but also to what Sunmi has done, but also at the same time kind of very much in with what Sunmi had been doing in the past. But I don't think the song on its own really landed well with me. And then we've got Strange Way to Love by Yeon. This is a ballad, and I actually really enjoyed it. Putting that in Wonyoung Dance, you don't really dance to a ballad, but I think that's the only place I can really put it there. And then we've got Summer Comes by Oh My Girl. It's definitely not one of Oh My Girl's more memorable songs. I feel like they have so many viral hits that it's kind of hard to put this in league with their better hits. But this was fine. I enjoyed it. It's okay. And then we've got Super Shy, and I am gonna put this in art gallery painting. We've got Sweet Juice by Purple Kiss. I didn't like that at all. Taxi, I really enjoyed it. I'm gonna put this in Wonyoung Dance. Why, yes. Teddy Bear, I didn't like it as much as Bubble. 2X, I'm gonna put that in art gallery paintings because I really enjoyed it. Underwater, wow. I know. Exactly. Unforgiven by Le Seraphim. I was not impressed. Sorry. Bingle Bangle. I kind of forgot about it after listening to it. Vroom Vroom. Putting that in Wonyoung Dance. I think it's a good song. And then this is We Are Young. I'm not a fan. Wasn't a big fan. Welcome to My World. I wasn't a big fan of it either. This is Wicked Love. I kind of forgot. I think Yena has this thing where she has like a dual personality concept going on because she releases really pop and very pop punky, spunky kind of music like Smiley and even Hate Rodrigo. So she has those kinds of songs, and then she has these like R&B and very seductive and heavy kind of persona that she sometimes dips in and out of, and I really appreciate that, but I think I'm just not really into it because I love her bright, bubbly personality a lot more. And then finally, we've got Young Dumb Stupid. Now let me be clear. There are parts of the song that I am okay with, but I think it's because the focal point of the song itself is entirely surrounding the nursery rhyme. The nursery rhyme on its own itself is very annoying. So even though the verses are fine and even the later half of the chorus is catchy, I think this like interpolation or sample or whatever the fuck you call it sucks. I don't like it. I think it sucks. It's not one of NMIX's better songs for sure. And there we go. That's it. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so that we can see everything. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Please don't hate me or send any death threats my way. I just wanted to be honest and share my thoughts and opinions about the music with you guys. Don't make me regret it. Anyway, if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to hear more of my thoughts and opinions about music, because I have certainly a lot of them. Comment down below what your favorite songs of the year were, and you can also let me know whether or not you agreed or disagreed with my opinions, as long as you keep it very civil and very polite. Thank you. All my social media links are down in the description, alongside my Ko-fi and Patreon pages if you guys want to support me financially. I can't wait to share my love with you again next time. I'll see you soon!
Will